Hello? Yeah, I did not expect that song to be playing. I apologize for that if I offended anyone out there, but that was a pretty good song. I'm going to be real with you. But the Lord has returned. Ssds, Bahjeera, Borngood versus the one and only DBBDBK, Genericz, Mageiden, and Hikari. Here we go, boys. Here we go, boys. This is...
Hit him with that flex!
Who with the flex subs? Is Bahjeera going to be playing? Or is it going to be Hikari? We don't know. And we're going to be finding out here very, very shortly. Both teams are ready. I'm going to jump right into the queue. You boys ready?
I'm ready, man.
I am absolutely ready, yeah.
So I did get a couple whispers from a buddy of mine, Sony. He actually wanted to get in contact with some Blizz people to bounce some ideas off of him. So shout out goes to Halinka and all those guys. Sony Digital may have some ideas for you. There it is. So I'm going to jump into this. Best of 5. This is the semifinals. This is going to determine who goes to the finals is the big Dragon Daddy himself. Going to the finals, we're about to find out right now. Or is it going to be the past champions, DBBDBK? We're going to find out in just a minute. The very first map of this best of 5 is going to be played out on Ruins of Lordaeron.
Man.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, baby. It's Ruins of Lordaeron. Welcome. It is Bahjeera himself going to be playing this out. This KFC going up against one of the hardest RMDs out there. I mean, this team is seriously good. And they went to the finals. They won it all last week. Can they do it again? We're about to find out.
But we also know Ssds is the Live Lord, man. He lived with like 2% HP twice to make it here, so...
Spam that Live Lord, boys!
That Live Lord hype!
I'm excited, man. I'm excited Bahjeera's playing, and I'm just going to follow around his big, manly warrior.
Excellent transmog. He looks like a lord of warrior. Early sap on a Borngood, cheap shot on Ssds. This is the cross you see the RMD is looking for in the opener. The pressure on Ssds into that half kidney. The Master Flight coming out trying to deny any CC, but the defreeze is going to come out nonetheless. Mageiden trinkets to try and land the polymorph. Borngood's going to trinket immediately. Double fear landed onto Mageiden and Genericz. They're swapping over to Hikari, it would seem, trying to pressure him, but he's in bear form with the Barskin. They're kind of chunking through it with the recklessness here from Bahjeera, trapping a Genericz. Hikari's getting pressured so much, he's not able to dispel it, and Genericz has to trinket. He lands the full blind, but that's going to get bopped by Borngood. Hikari getting pressured so hard, he's going to have to activate the Iron Bark and the dash just to escape Bahjeera's flex and might.
Hikari having used a lot there. I mean, he uses Trinket, he uses NS, Barkskin, Iron Bark, so a lot of pressure coming out of this KFC, but Ssds taking a lot of damage here, down to around 50%. Borngood does not have his Trinket, he still has the bubble available, but it looks like the CC is going to end, and Ssds should be able to get topped off. Hikari actually getting down to 20%! What is that? That's it! And taking this RMD by storm, I can't believe it. That was
what just happened? Are you kidding me? Let's take a look at that replay, boys. Let's take a quick look at these muscles. Replay. Alright, boys, look at this Hikari, man. He already had to use Barkskin. He already had to use Iron Bark. He has no Trinket. And watch Borngood. Watch what he does. He runs right in. He's in human form. Full Hodge goes out. Bahjeera sees blood. He tastes it. He gets execute range. Hikari goes down. This KFC is here to play. And Bahjeera taking the first map of this best of 5. Oh, baby. Ssds, Borngood, and Bahjeera. They're here to play. They're like, we're no underdogs, boys. You guys are gonna have to work to get to these finals, DBBDBK. Whoa.
Ssds actually did an incredible amount of damage that game. If you look at his damage, he did 610,000. The next highest was 400,000. So he was doing some mad deeps. They had a lot of pressure on Hikari. I don't think they were expecting that.
I wasn't.
Yeah, could have been one of those strategies that definitely caught them by surprise.
So, both the team does need a second. Sorry for interrupting you, Ven. And to counteract their strategy there, DBBDBK has chosen Tolvaron Arena. I think that's a really good map when trying to prevent a KFC from switching to you. But what do you guys think?
Like, speaking about like the reason why they were so offensive is like Borngood bops the blind immediately, and they just kept themselves offensive the entire time. And Mageiden ended up, I'm not sure what he was doing. It just felt like nothing was getting peeled off of Danny Carey, which was not typical from their team. And they kind of left him there and like, you can deal with Bahjeera, right? You can deal with Bahjeera. Maybe a little bad mana there, and Bahjeera's not going to have any of that, man. They're going to have to play their hearts out if they want to take this, because they just got crushed.
They just got crushed. So the next map of this best of 5 is going to be on Tolvaron Arena. See you in there. Alright boys, it's Tolvaron Arena, and as you can see, the Jungle Cleave came out to mix things up against this RMD, and these guys, they're in for a surprise every single game. Bahjeera just chunking Danny Carey down, and now the Jungle Cleave to deal with. This team is just full of surprises, and holy crap, they're making every team work for every single win.
This Jungle Cleave swap is going to have even more pressure on the Danny Carey, so he's going to have his butt cheeks clenched pretty tight, I think, this game, trying to escape from Hikari and Ssds. But let's see if the RMD can get that equalizing CC opener that they got last game and kind of take control of it from there. They need more crowd control to heal through this pressure. Flare's not going to connect on anyone. Genericz lands the stab on a Borngood. Pet Nova cheap shot into Ssds. Hikari's going to get his opener, though, here. I believe he actually gets cloned, and he doesn't get anyone stunned. That's terrible for Hikari. The Wyvern Sting coming out to Danny Carey. They're actually going to pop the crows out of that full hodge. Markskins immediately. He managed to pre-bear form it. Nice polymorph on Ssds and a kidney on Hikari. Borngood's going to dispel that. Danny Carey displaced just across the map. He manages to escape with his trinket and Iron Bark intact, but he's getting chunked. That's the incarnation from Hikari. Danny Carey activates the bear form. He's going to stampeding roar the heck out of there. And man, this is a Druid that is scared.
Yeah, this RMD is doing exactly what they need to, though. They're shutting down the offensive cooldowns of Hikari, and once his cooldowns fade, his damage is going to drop off significantly. I mean, Danny Carey still has his Iron Bark and Trinket available, so I don't think he's actually that scared. He's going to Trinket that bash into the DR Hodge. The bomb comes out defensively from Genericz. Meanwhile, Hikari taking a little bit of damage. The clone comes out onto Ssds by Danny Carey. Well done by him getting out that CC while being trained. The Iron Bark comes out, and he actually is taking still a lot of damage, hovering around 50%, but I think he should be able to top himself. The pressure being turned around onto Hikari, Mageiden putting Borngood in the sheep, into another sheep, and Borngood uses that bop and trinket. He still has the bubble available once for Baron's Fades, but Hikari taking so much damage right now, having to bubble that deep freeze to save Hikari, who is in a lot of trouble right now.
He does get bop, saved by the light procs. He's going for a clone with that bop, but Generic's going to Cloak of Shadows to avoid that. Gets the Eviscerate. Ice Nova connects. He wild charges back to Borngood and tries to reconnect, but a bash on a Borngood. Maybe too much aggression here. 18%. Generic's trinkets the bash. 7%. The Live Lord here, though. Full poly. How does he live? He doesn't. That's the answer. And Danny Carey, Mageiden, and Genericz are going to pull it back and tie this 1-1.
Yeah.
Was insane. Danny Carey will use his cooldowns very wisely, and his team peeled for him so much, but I still felt he was in so much trouble if they survived that. And let's just take a quick look at this replay. Hikari, he's pushing in, he's so low. His Paladin's trying to keep him offensive, but it's just so much CC comes out. There's the bash into the Ice Nova, and he just sits so low, and the Paladin just can't keep up with all the CC and all the damage going out. Hikari desperately trying to get the Cyclone out, but it's not going to be enough, and he's just going to go down. But an amazing game. That being said, it is now the Lord Has Returns choice of a map, and I feel like that's going to be a significant difference in this matchup, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing a strategy like this where you're kind of all-inning the Resto Druid, if Danny Carey gets caught in a position where he's not exactly ready for something like that, he can fall behind and be in a lot of trouble. But if he knows he's going to be the only target, he can just play really safe, make sure he has hots on himself, rotate his cooldowns a little bit better than he did the first game, and I think it's going to be hard if he knows he's the only target.
It's going to be
hard. I thought they were going to change the strat because they Wyvern stung him at the beginning and immediately just Murder of Crows on top of it. So I thought they were actually going to go for that CC strat just to mind game Danny Carey, but it is a big deal to not have pre-hots, to not be in bear form ahead of time. So I feel like they need to mind game them a little bit more, not just go for it. Right. But you know what? I want them to bring Badge back. I want Bahjeera back here.
You want him back?
Bring him back?
We're about to find out. The next map on this Best of 5 series is on Ruins of Lordaeron. Ruins of Hunteron.
He's back!
He's back, baby! Get ready, boys. Bahjeera's back in black. Back in black! Hit the sack! I don't know the rest of the words. It's Runes of Lordaeron, so you can't really get away. Oh man, are we gonna see a repeat of the very first game of the series, or is this RMD just gonna really prevent... Oh, look at that Sony invented WLS. I gotta fix the names. Here, actually, I'm gonna do that right now. DBBDBK, yes. Oh man, did the wrong team. Alright, boys, here we go. It's Runes of Lordaeron. Oh my gosh, the hype is real.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see if Bahjeera and Ssds decide to just go with the manly plays, chasing Danny Carey down and hunting him almost. He does get the stealth off, sap on a Borngood, opening on to Ssds. That's a full kidney shot already. Bahjeera is going to have to try Master Fleck here. He does land the Master Fleck, but the Ring of Frost is going to negate that. Ssds kind of getting chunked to half HP here, not using the deterrence just yet. He's stuck in the Ring of Frost as well. He doesn't want to disengage through it and get locked down even further. He's finally going to get it. That's the Murder of Crows coming out. Stormbolt onto Danny Carey. Possibly a trap out of that. It seems like they're going to swap to him. The Iron Bark onto Genericz. Half Podge out of that. He bar skins immediately, but he is in bear form. Bash onto Bahjeera is going to be peeling a lot of his damage, but they've already took him to 50% even without Bahjeera's mighty force behind it. And he's going to reconnect into the room here with no Iron Bark and no bar skin, and this is the only cooldown.
Holy destroyed right now. I can't believe it. But at the same time, Ssds taking a lot of damage into the kidney. Borngood does have that sack up, but the bomb comes out by Genericz. Going to be denying some of that heals. Borngood forced into that bubble, and I think at this point, I mean, Danny Carey still has his trinket, and he was able to just sit that Stormbolt. I think he's going to be fine for now. Like, I don't think they're going to kill Danny Carey. Mageiden blocking offensively. Genericz put into the full trap. Ssds doing anything he can to try to survive. Borngood into clone. Second deterrence, or that's actually the first deterrence coming out of Ssds, as well as the save by the light. Full sheep onto Borngood. Ssds probably going to have to use that second deter as well. And they're just forcing so many cooldowns, and Danny Carey is not going to be pressured at all right now. I mean, the Barkskin's coming back up, puts the Iron Bark on himself, just sitting in bear, and Ssds is just dead.
Yeah.
Wow. So they did. The element of surprise is no longer there, and this RMD is ready for those hard swaps. And
Danny Carey just sitting in bear form like he needs to. You know, that's what I was saying. It's way harder as a Resto Druid when you don't know what's coming. But if you're prepared, you can do a good job living, and he did.
There it is. So, can it happen? Can Bahjeera and his team of Ssds and Borngood and Hikari bring it back, man? They are now down 2-1. The next win for DBBDK is going to determine if they go to the finals. But Bahjeera has to win 2 in a row. 2 in a row. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Mageiden didn't just let them walk all over Danny Carey that game either. Bahjeera was in a lot of polymorphs that game, as well as Borngood. So Mageiden stepping it up, realizing that he's going to need to play a little bit more smart against Bahjeera here, not as reckless, I think, as the first game. So I would like to see the mind game a little bit. I know it's like, it's all fun, go after the Druid, let's hunt him down kind of thing, but I think pulling out a little bit more strategy here would benefit them. Like, get a trinket from CC or something and then swap to him later. Just force Mageiden defensive as well, lock out his polymorphs a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I think strategy is definitely their only way out of this.
But at the same time, it could be a desperation move. I mean, if they played RMD a lot on live and they know that they can't really kill a rogue and a mage, their only target is the Druid, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Runes of Lordaeron once again from The Lord Has Returned. Alright, boys, it's RMD versus Jungle Cleave. They swapped Bahjeera out, they brought the jungle in, but now it's Runes of Lordaeron. Can Hikari and Ssds do it? Can they keep The Lord Has Returned in this tournament? We'll see, man. Who wins this, or if DBBDBK wins this match, they're going to the finals.
See if Hikari can pull it off. He pulled it off yesterday for his team as the sub-in. And maybe they are going to stick with the Druid strat as well now, switching back to the Feral Druid option. The early sap probably going to be landed here. He is right behind SSDS. He's going to cheap shot him immediately after that sap. A bunch of damage coming out so far, but no adrenaline rush. He's trying to bait a cooldown, but he's not going to get it. Now a clone onto Hikari. He's going to trinket out of that immediately and connect onto his target, which is Mageiden. Full bash into Danny Carey. No trap follow, but he's getting chunked! Almost down goes Vinruki moment there for Mageiden, but he does get the block off in time. Now the smoke bomb onto Hikari. He's taking a bunch of damage in that stun, chunking down to about half HP, activates the survival instincts to reduce that incoming damage. Now popping the incarnation. He is in hypothermia for a few more seconds, but he gets cloned on it. Really good CC from Danny Carey here to mitigate all of this incarnation damage.
Yeah, that was exactly what he needed to do. Clone Hikari on its offensive cooldowns. Danny Carey actually being swapped, taking so much damage, down to 24%, could just die through Barkskin, and he's dead! I can't believe it!
What the hell?
He's dead!
He used his trinket.
Just dead.
He used his trinket to keep Mageiden up, and that's exactly what you said they needed to do. You know, they pressured Mageiden, got Danny Carey's trinket, and just killed him through Barkskin and no hots immediately. Unbelievable.
Match point. Who's going to the finals? Let's take a quick look at that replay really fast. Now, keep an eye on Danny Carey as he was the kill target. That's the full Cyclone. He's prowling. He's trying to get... Or that's Hikari. He's opening back up onto Danny Carey. The Barkskin comes out, but it's not enough. He doesn't have a trinket. He's in human form. He gets so low. Even the Denounce coming out from Borngood with his wings up and aura mastery. Holy shock. Everything goes out onto Danny Carey. What a swap. Holy crap. The synergy from this team is intense. These swaps on Runes of Lordaeron, no less, are lethal. Next, so it's going to be the map choice of DBBDBK, but this is match point. Whoever wins this next map is going to go to the grand finals of tournament number 8. Is Bahjeera, Hikari, Ssds, and Borngood going to prove everyone wrong and say that no, we're here to play, we're here to win it all? We'll find out, man. I definitely think that they're the underdogs here. What do you guys think?
Which team is the underdog, sorry?
The Lord has returned.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it was a surprise to many players for them to even get into the top 4, and they're just destroying. I mean, when I was watching them practice, they were playing really well, and they practiced a lot for this tournament, so I'm happy that sort of paid off for them. And I mean, I don't think we could ask for better games at this point.
Alright, the next map is Tolvaron Arena. I love that Borngood is with them. He knows the swaps are coming up. They see the opportunity, and he's in it to win it. Hikari's at half health, and he's like, I'm holy shocking this Druid right now. I'm Denounce spending.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm doing the deeps.
I'm doing the deeps. Alright, man, they're sticking with Hikari. It is Tolvaron Arena. This is the map choice by DBBDBK. And, but is it going to matter? Is this hard swap going to come out once again? I feel like it could go either way.
Definitely. On Tolvaron Arena, like, Danny Carey's going to have way more space. They're going to have to cross the map a lot, but Mageiden's not going to be able to polymorph Hikari like he did Bahjeera, so it forces them to hit him, which means SSDS is kind of free. He gets all of his damage off guaranteed, and Borngood can kind of bop Hikari, keep him offensive. As long as they can keep it going, I think they can pull it off, and definitely they do need to swap. I don't think Danny Carey's just going to flop over by himself. The flare almost catches Genericz there. That might have been terrible for them, but he does find him in stealth. They're going to open up onto Genericz here in the opener. That's the Bestial Wrath coming up, but the Crow's onto Mageiden, forcing the Iron Bar from Danny Carey, and he's getting chunked to half HP. A nice kidney shot. He's getting soloed by the barrage of SSDS at this point. He has to blink and abandon ship, taking so much damage in the center of the map. Hikari now pushing in, trying to get maybe a clone here onto Danny Carey or a potential swap. And it is going to be the bash. The rate comes up. I don't think they're going to swap to him. Polymorph on the SSDS. Deep Freeze onto Borngood. The Ring of Frost coming down, but it does get locked out as well as the Polymorph. So good interrupt coordination from the Jungle Cleave there to prevent that CC. Full trap lands in Danny Carey. It's going to break. What broke that? That was the trap that they needed. Now Hikari into the kidney. Smoke bomb comes out. He needs to get out of this. Survival instincts is up. Saved by the light procs, but that's Killing Spree. It's going to shred right through it. 30%. He does get topped off by Borngood's Avenging Wrath, and we have a game going on, boys and girls.
Yeah, Borngood getting away with that. Just using his trinket. I mean, he still has the pop and bubble available. Mageiden under a lot of pressure right now, down to around 50%. And SSDS, never mind. I thought he randomly got gibbed, but it was the feigned death. Blind coming out onto Hikari, just trying to stop some of that damage. The trap comes out onto Generic. Borngood put into the Frost Nova, the deep freeze. Is he going to be able to get the ring? The full ring comes out. He does immediately bubble that, just trying to keep his team offensive. The Ironbark comes out from Danny Carey onto Mageiden, and a lot of pressure coming out from both teams here.
Yeah, Mageiden still has 2 ice blocks available to him, and they really need to get Danny Carey's trinket to swap. There's the full Hodge into Danny, but he is behind the pillar. SSDS going for the snipe trap here, potentially. Maybe even a swap. It's not going to land it. Danny Carey pops a Stampeding Roar, and Mageiden getting pressured. Full bleeds onto him in the center of the map. SSDS just going to town, but that's a full kidney onto Hikari, peeling his damage effectively. He's going to get topped off by Danny Carey there. He gets the regrowth off, and he is pre-bear forming all the time, just so he doesn't get caught out in caster form. A gouge onto SSDS. They're swapping over to Danny Carey, though. There's the full bash into Cyclone potentially. He's trying to fake the counterspell, and he did fake it. That's a full clone onto Danny Carey here, and he's going to be able to pressure Mageiden pretty hard. The Blazing Speed blink comes out, the invisibility even. He's just doing whatever he can to LOS the damage here as that CC chain went out, but as the CC subsides into Danny Carey, he's going to keep Mageiden topped. He goes for a polymorph there, but he was baiting it for the deep freeze that's going to come up here. Danny Carey gets trapped here full. Mageiden with the Murder of Crows. He's not going to be able to push in at this critical moment. Barrage coming up, but it's going to break the trap. Excellent positioning, but he's getting chunked. Amplify Magic, that's a block.
And Hikari was actually in a bop behind the pillar while Mageiden had a block there. So really SSDS showing the power of that Hunter. Basically soloing Mageiden right there. That's the first block out of Mageiden. He's going to have that Cold Snap for a second one, but Borngood put into the full deep freeze. Is he going to get ringed out of that? Nope, he's get interrupted. SSDS taking a lot of damage. Sheep Cout's out on the Borngood. He immediately trinkets at to try to keep SSDS topped off to keep his team offensive. Mageiden gets the Ironbark from Danny Carey. Danny Carey having to use his trinket there on that full trap. And SSDS taking so much damage using his Deter and Save by the Light proccing at the same time.
Yeah, and he should be able to get topped here. And actually a bash landing onto Borngood from Danny Carey. He's trying to go for a Cyclone, I believe, out of this, trying to fake the interrupts. He does fake the counter shot, I believe, there, but he gets full Wyvern Stung. Mageiden could be in trouble here, but a blind onto Borngood. Genericz is pressuring SSDS into the second deterrence, answering that Comet Storm immediately. A nice... Oh, he cloned the Murder of Crows. He trinketed anyway with the Murder of Crows into another clone, though. SSDS in desperation! That's going to be it, though. Bahjeera's Lord has returned. Is not going to be able to pull it off here in the 5th game on Toberon Arena, but an amazing showing nonetheless from their team here. GG.
GG. Yep. Let's take a quick look at that replay after this. Both these teams played so well, and I know for a fact that Generic's team, Mageiden and Danny Carey, weren't expecting that showing coming out from Bahjeera. But you know what? Bahjeera, Hikari, Borngood, and SSDS, they pulled through, and this is their first tournament at GCD TV, and they did awesome. But that means RMD is going to the finals. DBBDBK is going to be in the finals going up against Nesper. Can they make it happen? We're going to find out here in just a moment, but it looks like this team's still trying a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, this isn't the last of we're going to see of this team, right? We're going to see a 3rd place match coming out from Bahjeera's team. The Lord has returned again.
Versus Sidu! Bahjeera versus Sidu! This is real as hell, this 3rd place matchup. Oh, baby! So let's take a quick look.
These are going to be good games.
Let's take a quick look at this replay right quick. Keep an eye out on SSDS, but Mageiden the whole time just taking so much damage. Danny Carey goes into that Wyvern Sting, put the blind on the Borngood after they tried to prevent all the CC from the Mage, and the deterrence eventually fades through that full polymorph, and SSDS just takes so much damage, even though Mageiden is in that full Cyclone. The double Eviscerate comes out from Generic, securing that kill. So GG's to both of those teams. Shout out to the Lord has returned. Thank you so much for coming.